So I just wanted to spend a few minutes discussing a little bit more about the subject I was kind of exploring the other day, which is taking obvious actions and doing what would be the appropriate thing in most circumstances instead of following law of assumption, law of attraction, manifesting advice that we hear on YouTube. I think personally that as great as that advice can be, and it often is great, especially when you hear it from the source, like from Neville or Joseph Murphy, etc. Nonetheless, for most of us, it makes more sense just to follow common sense advice the majority of the time. The majority of the time. Now, this is just my opinion, and obviously, especially in this YouTube space, a lot of people are going to disagree with this. But I say this after, being into and doing my best to implement these ideas into my own life and help, at this point, hundreds of clients implement these ideas into their own lives. I say this after about 10 years of being into this stuff in this way. And my sober assessment just of the community at large is that most people trying to implement these ideas, following, the regurgitated Neville advice that we hear on YouTube or elsewhere, do not have as much success than if they had just followed the common sense ideas about the subject a lot of the time. And this is particularly the case when it comes to, romantic relationships, manifesting a specific person, an SP, as they say. One reason that, I've been talking about the SP stuff so much recently is because Marvin and I have this new program, and we really want to help people who want to resolve these SP issues they've had for years and who have been into these law of assumption ideas for months, if not years, often multiple years, and have not had the success that they thought they were going to have by implementing the law of assumption to manifest their SP. Especially when it comes to relationships. SP advice, the way it is told to us on YouTube, is not going to work as well as just common sense romantic dating advice most of the time. Okay? That's my opinion, but I have a very firm conviction about this based on experience and working with people and just seeing, frankly, the trauma that a lot of this SP advice causes people. I have spoken to a lot of people over the last month or so who have told me, I wish I never found this SP advice. I think I would have been okay and recovered from the heartbreak of my relationship or gotten over this person if I hadn't encountered this SP advice online. And the thing is, they're probably right. Or at least in large part right. This stuff, unfortunately, the mainstream SP advice, and I'm not saying that all SP advice on YouTube is like this, I'm just saying the vast majority of it is going to screw you up instead of help you most of the time in terms of relationships. Sorry. And that's totally unnecessary. And there's a lot of common sense relationship advice you can start implementing and integrating into your life right away. I'm talking about today. We're going to go about something you can do today that's going to help you feel better about your love life, going to help you feel better about where you're at in terms of relationships, and going to help you, perhaps most importantly, move forward in a healthy, holistic way, which will enable you to actually get into a relationship with either the person that you want to manifest or a different person in a much more healthy, sustainable, loving way. So that's why, Marvin and I have this new coaching program. If you want to work with us, you can fill out the questionnaire below in the description. Fill out the questionnaire. Marvin and I will reply to you, and we can set up a free consultation where we discuss what you're looking for to see if we can help you or not help you. But this common sense element, which is vital in my opinion, vital in Marvin's opinion, is so underplayed. Because the esoteric stories of, oh, I, manifested my partner back by reciting these affirmations or by doing sats for 3 nights and then they came back, sounds so great. But as we always like to ask, what happened after that? What happened after they did come back, if they did come back? And for most of you watching this, they did not come back, let's be honest. But what happened once they did come back? Hopefully you were able to discuss things and iron out where some of those difficulties had been, straightened it out, and made it so the relationship started to flow better and things started to work better in the relationship, so it was able to sustain itself and is able to sustain itself long term. But my guess is for most of you that's not the case. Even if the person comes back, you still got to deal with the fucking person. And worse, you have to deal with yourself. Oof. And that's what really hurts, is realizing you got to look at you. And the technique's not going to save you from you and how you feel about the other person and yourself. And the deep feelings of inadequacy or shame or abandonment that might be there that are stewing in the back of your mind, even if you're trying to affirm over it or visualize over it or whatever. So something you can do, something that Marv and I were talking about in our private group session the other day, that we really recommend that you can do today if you're trying to manifest an old SP back, a specific person you were in a relationship with or want to be in a relationship with, and you've been trying all these techniques, affirming, visualizing, and it hasn't worked in the way you wanted, which again is going to be the case for the majority of you, no matter what kind of sensationalistic marketing bullshit you hear about how you're going to get them back in 3 days or 3 weeks, because I can tell you, for most of you watching this video, that hasn't happened to you. And that's not because you're in the minority, it's because you're in the large majority. When you're sick of the tricks and the bullshit, even though they sometimes work, and even though what Neville and Joseph Murphy talk about is valid in many ways, when you're sick of all that stuff, something you can do right away, meaning, again, today, is you can do your best to calm yourself some. You can breathe deeply, ground yourself in whatever way works for you. We have many videos on this channel of ways to ground yourself. I'll put a link above to some of the seminars I've led, just almost all those seminars and longer videos. We start with a grounding exercise. You can take your time grounding yourself. And once you feel a little grounded, and you don't have to feel totally grounded, once you just start to feel a little grounded, okay, after like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, longer if you want, but it can just be like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You can take your phone and record something on audio, or you can take a pen and paper and write something down, or you can write on your computer what you want to tell your SP. What you wish you told your SP that you never have told them about how you feel right now and how you miss them and how you want them in your life and what happened and what you hope would happen and how you messed up or how you didn't mess up and how you see the relationship and how you wish you conveyed this to them, but perhaps you did not and you're conveying it now, and that you really like them or love them and that you just want to let them know that. You can, in short, articulate a message to them on your phone or on the computer or writing it down and get it out. Get it out. Get it out. You can do this today. Now, you're doing this primarily for yourself. You do not have to send this to the person. You can. In many instances, I would recommend that you do. But this isn't something anyone else ever has to hear or read. This is for yourself, so you can actually get it out. Get it out. Just doing this is going to be cathartic for many of you. And it's going to start the healing process. And if you like what you wrote or said, you can then send it to your SP, or you can edit it a little bit, refine it a little bit. You don't have to refine it a lot, mind you. Just, refine it a little bit and then send it to your SP. This is real advice, real relationship advice that works. This is going to be better for most of you than doing, 100 or 1,000 affirmations today for your SP. This is going to get the ball rolling. This is taking appropriate, inspired action. It might not feel good while you do it, but it will feel good once you've done it. This is the kind of stuff that real coaches provide you. Actionable advice that actually moves the needle. All right? So just consider that. If you want to talk to Marvin and I, if you're interested in being part of our SP group coaching, you can fill out the questionnaire below. And if you have any questions for me personally, I can be reached at info@radicalcounselor.com. Until next time, remember, you are enough. You yourself are okay right now. You are a lovely, giving, wonderful human being. Things are okay. And that you're all right. And you'll make it through whatever SP situation you have. It's okay right now, and you can make it through. You deserve to make it through and be okay. And you already really are okay right now. Isn't it wonderful? You're okay as you are.